as we're settling into our next qualifying match, and we're settling into our next best of 5. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Post Youth, we have our German Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Freiburg Esports. It is ForJumy. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the red Zerg player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is YoungYakov. Here we go. Is this the one event that Drogo plays? I haven't seen him in a long time. He was playing in the last season of EPT, right? He was playing in the Winter season last year. He was playing in Home Story Cup. Drogo has been pretty active when it comes to these big events. Drogo doesn't really play in too many online weeklies. I think you see him like every now and then in like an ESL Open Cup Europe. But when it comes to these online events, he's not really the most active of players. Mainly comes out for the big ones. Again, we did mention that nowadays Drogo is more of a part-time player. He is more of a part-time player. Caliber also, Gumir played as random for a bit as well. Yeah, they're known for playing random, but I did mention that I think the most recent random player was Balloon. I don't remember if since Balloon we've had anyone else play as random in a premier event. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong, but yeah, I don't remember an instance of that in recent time. I'm talking like the past 10 years, I guess. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that Heart of the Swarm was what, 2014, 2015. Balloon, that's back when he was active, and in the past 10 years, have we had like a random player competing? Jesus, that's crazy. I think did Pez play random in ANZ Champs? Behind this YoungYakov, he is going to be getting into link speed. We are making a handful of links. We're loading into Post Youth. Post Youth, of course, being the base or the map that has a natural base, a hybrid natural base with gold minerals. So I'm a little bit shocked that this made it through the veto process. I'm in shock, but I'm more than happy to embrace this. Oh, sorry, I do apologize. I was a little bit distracted, and we'll get rid of the name tag. Name tag fixed soon. Yeah. Just letting you know. As Lings, they gain map control, they shut down the Adepts, and we're going to be trying to contain our opponent to 2 bases for as long as we can. Lings are moving out. Behind this, ForJumy going for a Stargate opener. And is settling into this. But yeah, I am going to double check. As Lings, they have hit the field. They're going to be going for the Adept as well. Not the most wise commitment here from YoungYakov as we do shut this down. Yeah, Lings are going to get peeled off. So a pretty big commitment there by YoungYakov. 15 Lings do fall. You don't quite break in. And the Oracle's moving out. And yes, I do remember. Okay, so it was ANZ Champs. What was it? Season, I think the last season of ANZ Champs. It wasn't Pez, it was Mighty Kiwi. Mighty Kiwi, I remember he played as random, and the most infamous of moments was he was able to cheese the hell out of Chappie. I felt so bad. I felt so bad for Chappie. As David, Mighty Kiwi, he just whipped out his random just for fun, and yeah, he was able to bring Chappie down. That was a brutal moment. That was a brutal series. Yeah, it was heartbreaking. My heart, like Chappie, he's such a nice guy. Such a nice guy. And he got clowned on, Bobby. He got clowned on. By Mighty Kiwi's Protoss of all things. Let's go. But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Mighty Kiwi was maybe the last random player at the competitive level. Good times, good times. Oh, and yeah, sorry. And on top of that, it wasn't just Mighty Kiwi playing random. I was correct because I said Pez initially. I can see here the 2022 season of ANZ Champs, Pez did play random in the playoffs against Probe. I remember that. I remember that because Pez, he was confident in his Terran. Instead of a PvP between Pez and Probe, he wanted to hit his Terran against Probe. And he had some all-ins prepared with his Zerg as well. So yes, so both Pez and Mighty Kiwi were playing random. I guess pretty recently, 2022. There you go. Fun fact. Fun fact. For those who are maybe unaware, I know that right now we're like at an EU time slot. But ANZ Champs was basically like GSL for the ANZ region. It's a Ling Bane all-in, by the way. We're setting it back. We're cutting workers at 45, and YoungYakov is going for a big all-in. ANZ Champs, that was basically GSL for Australia and New Zealand. And that was when I was casting in studio at Sydney, at the ESL studio, with Pig. Pig was casting, Maynard was casting, Zeph, and myself. Good times back in the day. That was maybe some of my best memories of my career casting so far. But here we go, the Bane Bus has arrived. YoungYakov sending it all here towards that third base, does break through the pylon. No shield battery, no overcharge. We have a handful of units, a handful of FCs to defend. Zealots are on the way, but these are going to be charged lots. Is this going to be enough though? 7 probes do for the Queens. They are waddling in, but where's the Ling Bane? We're running out. Running out of Ling Bane just now where they're on the way. The Queens, they cannot transfuse. No creep. No creep to transfuse them. ForJumy, he does dive on top of said Queens. 1, 2, 3 Queens go down. Big pickoffs there. ForJumy. Massive pickoffs as Lings, they get into the mineral line. 3 probes go down. We get some economic damage done. But ForJumy, he's holding at the same time across the map. We go for a big counter attack. Oh my god. ForJumy getting Zealots here into the main base. Doesn't get too much damage done, but he buys time. And the Queens are waddling back home. The all-in has failed, and ForJumy, he survives. Doesn't just survive, he chases down the Queens. He will get every single one. And now here comes the counterattack. And YoungYakov, what do we have at home to defend? We need Banelings. We do have some. Banelings have been amassing. Sentries, they do finish up just in time. For the Lings, they do get a decent surround here. Zealots are going down. Good cleanup out of YoungYakov. Oh, we go for the force field. Force field on the ramp. But the Prism... The Prism is going to be going down. A massive move there out of YoungYakov. Repositioning that Spore. And with the death of that Prism, that I think might be the death of ForJumy as we clean up the Void Ray, the Prism, every single Adept. And YoungYakov does have a drone lead. ForJumy, he backs off. He's probing. Is going to be probing up. Is going to be probing up back at home. Jesus, that's a lot of gateways. He had attempted to go for an 11 gate all in, but unfortunately it did end up falling on its face here. It ran out of steam. And now ForJumy's in a really rough position. The reason why I say that ForJumy's in a rough position outside of his lower worker count is his tech. His tech is so late. Temple Archives is on the way. Forge just finished for +1. Upgrades just now starting up. And ForJumy is stuck at home. Meanwhile, YoungYakov has so much freedom to saturate his bases. He's taken the center gold base. His drone count may be a little bit low, but because of the gold minerals, that more than makes up for it. That more than makes up for the lower drone count. YoungYakov looking to run away with this. Droning up, getting into Ling Bane Roach Ravager. Zealot comes in. Very necessary damage here. Very nicely done. 4 drones go down, but we needed a little bit more. We're cleaning up the Zealots. Again, there's so much pressure on ForJumy to get economic damage done. And alas, he needs more. Oracle gets forced back. Mortal's on the way. And the game is going to be settling down a little bit from here. And again, you can see that the disparity here in supplies is getting larger and larger. Like YoungYakov is just getting further and further ahead. Is looking to max out here. Baneling speed is finishing up, plus on melee is on the way. We do have Storm on the horizon for ForJumy. Storm is going to be a huge upgrade for him. if he can get there. That is going to be a big if as we collapse on the army. Arco gets surrounded. Bailey's waddling into the mineral line. Bailey's are waddling in. Stasis trap goes off on a handful of lings. Bailey's do connect. And you can see here that we have broken this position. No shield battery, no overcharge. Immortal's going to be going down. And there's just nothing left. There's just not enough here. GG gets called. YoungYakov will take a 2-1 lead in the series. GG. GG, well played. All right, predictions. We'll pay out those predictions from earlier. But yeah, I do apologize for missing like the first half of that game. We were reminiscing, Pat. We were reminiscing about times gone by. I do miss ANZ champs. That was the one and only time that I was actually casting in studio, like with a production team, with cameras on a set. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good memories. One day we'll be able to replicate that. One day. As yeah, a solid game there out of YoungYakov. Even though his all-in did in a way fail, in the sense that the all-in was unable to kill ForJumy, it was able to deal enough damage, and it wasn't just that, it wasn't just the damage that was dealt, it was also the fact that ForJumy was so committed in his counterattack. Because he went up to 11 gates as a 3-base all-in, when ForJumy didn't break his opponent, when ForJumy wasn't able to kill the Protoss then and there, then, sorry, the Zerg player then and there, then, of course, YoungYakov snowballed out of control. And now the pressure is on ForJumy to bounce back. Can he pull it off? Can he do so? Can we force the ace match? Personally, I'm hoping for an ace match, but again, the pressure is on ForJumy. So, so fun fact, ForJumy, he made the lobby initially as the ESL version of the map, and we're like, yo, apparently the LE version is more updated now, and he's like, oh, okay, sorry, and he remakes the lobby and he makes it ESL again. Okay. that's fair enough, it's happening. I do see in the chat, I thought they both qualified. What are they playing for now? So right now we only have who? Uthermal qualified. Let me quickly go over it. Uthermal is qualified. Rodzen qualified as well, but neither of these players have qualified, if that's what you mean. Neither ForJumy or YoungYakov. But there is a lower bracket, so the loser of this series will have another chance. The winner will make it through into the main European regionals. Oh boy, YoungYakov here needs one more win here to advance on. ForJumy has to fight back here and now. So they're playing for a qualifying spot. Neither player has qualified yet. Just to make things clear. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of side Delta, we have our German Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Freiburg Esports. Down in the series, he needs to fight back here and now to force that ace match. It is ForJumy. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the red Zerg player representing the Platinum Heroes. Unamas, one more game is all he needs to qualify for the EPT Spring European Regionals. It is YoungYakov. I remember Rainer playing random in a smaller tournament last year, I think. That was fun. I think I know what you're talking about. I remember there was an event where a bunch of players played random, but yeah, I can't quite remember. I say that. It's been really cool to see. I think it's the Infolet monthlies. The Polish tournament has been forcing off racing, which is a lot of fun. Like, we've been seeing some tournaments and some more recent events have a lot of fun when it comes to featuring newer maps or quirky maps or forcing off racing, for example, things like that. We're getting creative here. A lot of tournament organizers are starting to get creative, which I do appreciate. But yeah, I think I do remember Raynor playing random or maybe race picking. I remember that Raynor, he was race picking in some EPT weeklies, but it was not the best outcome out of them. I do remember that at least. But regardless, we're going to be settling here into our game. Into our next game. And again, it's going to be great to have a random player like Uthermal, you know, really represent his race, his one and only, the random race, in the group stage and in the main events. I'm sure it's going to lead to a lot of entertaining games. As, ForJumy is spicing it up, going for a Twilight Council opener. Okay, here we go. Twilight Council's on the way. This could go into a couple of different directions. We haven't pulled out of gas yet. If we pull out of gas, this should be for Glaive Adepts. Otherwise, this could be for a Dark Shrine-based opener. And we haven't pulled out. I'm feeling DTs. We'll see. We'll see how ForJumy does piece this all together. Probe moves out. And we're just waiting for some reinforcements. There it is. Dark Shrine is on the way. This is going to be a DT-based opener. Now, for those that are curious, this is not an all-in. This is not an all-in by any means. This is just a way to open up, just a way to get economic damage done. You can harass with Dark Templar, and if there's detection, then the DTs, of course, they can back off and morph into Archons and get more damage from there. Can get more damage done, and as you're dealing damage with the Dark Templar and with the Archons, you then expand behind it, taking a third base, and you get into a longer game from there. Oh, meanwhile, YoungYakov going for a very early Roach Warren. That was a 3-minute 40 Roach Warren timing. Very early on, YoungYakov coming in with his Overlord. Will he get eyes on the tech? It looks like he will. Yeah, the Stalker doing what it can, but the Overlord will get close enough. We get eyes on the gateway, and we we barely get eyes on the tech. Very nice scout there, YoungYakov. He is a Diva enjoyer, as you were hearing, but he does see the Twilight Council and the Dark Shrine spores are on the way. And the Roach Warren's already done. So again, just really safe play here. Roaches are amassing, spores are being thrown down for detection. And YoungYakov should be perfectly safe here against this build. Adepts are going to be shading in. We do focus down the drone. We get 2. Almost a third. As we did mention, though, ForJumy, this is not an all-in, so it's not like he needs to get a game-winning amount of damage or anything like that. It would be nice if he was able to get some value here. Dark Templar waddling out. We do manage to deny some creep, but we're not getting anything else from here. But at least we keep the DTs alive. At least the Dark Templar are still alive. Third base is on the way. Lings are going to be threatening it. Did you manage to get a probe? Second probe goes down. Are we going to surround here on the shield battery? That's going to be a kill. Where are the Adepts? Where are the units here? Only Dark Templar. Lings, they're getting so much done, much more than they should. Getting 3, 4, almost 5 probes. Ay, ay, ay. Now we finally warp in that Zealot. But again, YoungYakov just running circles around ForJumy. Lings are cleaned up. But alas, that did cost ForJumy so much. Behind this, we're transitioning into Immortal production. We have Blink, we have +1 on the way as well. A solid transition, that's true, but again, YoungYakov is just happily joining up his 3 bases. We should be seeing a 4th momentarily as well. We have Dark Templar in position. We have DTs here to deny any expansion. So again, really nice in here by ForJumy, just being as annoying as possible. And we do delay that fourth. Fourth base is delayed, but now it is going to be taken. We do have a YoungYakov just setting up here for his push. Drop lords are going to be on the way. There we go. Queens are on the horizon here. As YoungYakov is cutting workers at 3 base saturation at 63. And we are committed. We are pushing. Rocks are being knocked down. ForJumy waiting here on the high ground. Shows the force fields. Not too bad, but the Wilds, they knock the force fields down. They went chasing back this army. Take down an Archon, we go for the Immortals. Home pick up there out of ForJumy. But last, this might just be too much. And we get 2 Immortals. We have the overcharge, but again, there's just too much DPS, too much firepower. We snipe the detection. Very cheeky move here. Where are the Overseers? The DT is barely holding on. But these were still some expensive losses. We go for the detection once again. We snipe the Overseer. Let's go. We snipe that Overseer. 2 Dark Templar going ahead. We go for the Overseer once again. Clutch Transfuse. Yeah, very clutch transfuse. We have detection available finally. And YoungYakov, he will break this base. GG gets called, and YoungYakov will take the series 3-1, qualifying for the EPT Spring European Regional. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to YoungYakov. Again, ForJumy, unfortunately with his opener here, his DTs, they didn't do enough. There was no Robo with it, so there was no Archon harass either. And it wasn't just that the DTs didn't do a lot of damage. It was also the Ling harass from YoungYakov popping off and just pulling ForJumy apart, getting so much economic damage done, wreaking havoc at the third base, and eventually leading up towards that eventual push. GG. GG, well played. Thankfully, it was a bit of a back and forth, but still did go in favor of YoungYakov. And with that, I believe the upper bracket is wrapping up. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. But yes, we have our qualified players. Okay, from the top, we have Uthermal, we have Akedon, we have Rodzin, we have Battle B, DNS, and of course, YoungYakov as well. GG. Showdown versus Papi is mid-series. Goblin versus Milky Cow is mid-series as well. And now we're getting into the lower qualifying matches instead. Who do we have? We have Spats versus Baby Marine. We have Boanan versus Aristory. Mixu's waiting for his opponent. Night Phoenix waiting for his opponent. Drogo waiting for either Hamey or Art. Nicorect waiting for his opponent. We have Art versus Geralt. And it looks like we have ForJumy versus Nikic. Let's go. Okay, so we have our next series here. It's going to be another ZvP. We're going to be following ForJumy into another qualifying match. He has another chance here to redeem himself. He has another chance here against another Zerg player. A very different Zerg player, a much more aggressive one. Nikic. Let's go. And predictions will soon be open.